All right.
Here we are.
We're here. We're sitting on the front porch of the Dollar House. We bought it for $1, which isn't exactly true because we had to pay 6 years worth of back taxes.
Which is nothing in this neighborhood.
Yeah, luckily for us, the city of Cincinnati finds this neighborhood to be worthless.
And it even went down.
And the price of it went down. So we had about $4,000 worth of back taxes to pay on it. And we paid that off, and that was a year and almost 18 months ago. Not that we paid it off. We recently paid it off. We bought it almost 18 months ago. We're at the Dollar House, and we're going to start project number... I'm getting rushed along here. We're going to start project number 1. It's December 15th, 2014. And
I'm 32 still.
Will's still 32 for another week and a half. So we're gonna start working on the Dollar House. First thing I'm gonna do is like back up and show you what the whole house looks like. I'm gonna walk down the stairs. Here I go. Here I go. Here I go. It's a I think it's called a modified. There's Will. It's a modified Cape Cod. And when we get to show you the inside, you'll get to see the inside. So there it is. That's the Dollar House. Here we go. All right.
We're on the inside now.
We're on the inside. We have a little propane heater.
The brightest
and
fucking
the brightest light, seriously, the brightest light ever on the planet. Look. Ooh, it's bright. So, don't get burnt. Come over here. Come on. Over here. Always video. What? Hello. So, we're in the basement.
Happy as can be. Right next to the love of my life.
So, we're in the basement. This is our first project we're going to work on. The first thing we have to do is fix the steps that go outside, which make it easier to come in and outside. And as well, we have to... Are you going to be in this video? Are you going to stand up? Are you going to be in the video? Or are you going to stand over there?
We got to fix the steps. 1.
First thing we have to do is fix the steps.
And they stole all the copper out of
There is
here.
no plumbing or electricity.
No plumbing or electricity.
In the house at all, which is, we have an extension cord running from our house to run those lights over there. And we have a little propane heater, obviously. But this is, next I'm going to show you the steps, which are a wreck and have been eaten up. And most of what we're going to do is put not a temporary fix, but a good fix, and then we'll make it pretty later. All right, so this is the basement. These are the basement steps.
Will is annoyed. It right now?
Will's annoyed because I'm not a very good cameraman. Tell them about the gosh darn basement.
The basement is here and we're in it.
What are those, Will? Happy Will.
These are the stairs, and there should be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of them, but one of them is gone from water damage, and the second one down needs to be replaced. Here's a little old closet that someone had, and you'll notice when they stole all the water pipes, they tore this out so that they could get to the water and the electric,
everything, for the copper,
for all the copper, because it was worth 18 bucks. But you know, we need a hit. You need a hit. So this is where the dryer was and the washer. There was a sink here. That's right there. And this is the old vent pipe for the whole house, and they made them out of where they put them in with the black pipe, and because they didn't cover them over the top or put an elbow or something, they all got rusted.
100 years later,
yeah,
iron goes bad.
Right. You know, I guess you don't have foresight. Whatever. Here's the west side toilet in the middle of the room.
They were always in the middle of the room. We have no idea why.
Literally, there's nothing behind here.
Never a wall there with a toilet sitting there.
Frame of a wall. Little shower. Some old man could get him a shower. And a cool light fixture, actually, if it wasn't brass, but we'll just paint that. So it'll be cool and black. And then here is the original furnace with which you would
throw coal in there, I guess.
Throw coal in there, coke oven. So you would throw coal in there.
I don't think you can say coke on the west side
coal
without
oven.
it. Yeah, coal, right.
Anyway, they converted it and made it into a gas furnace at some point.
Which we will, by the way, never use because that is the
Oh my
scariest
God.
thing on the planet. And I'm not sure what we'll do with it other than leave it sitting there.
So this is a build out for some reason that they, you know, just to cover all the stuff because the old lady wanted this beautiful paneling instead of the exposed things. But they stole the water meter. So we've got to cut out there and put a water meter in. And here's the electric box so that we can, the water meter has to be in so that we can ground the electricity to the water meter. And then we can turn the electricity on, hopefully.
We're a few weeks away from that. But otherwise, here's the garbage. Here's what happens when someone comes in on the west side and steals all the copper out of the basement from a house that you pay $1 for.
Hey, it's $1.
That's Will. I'm behind the camera. This is our dollar house. We're going to start working on these steps. Well, it's almost a half hour later, and we were hoping to be able to salvage some of the stairs, but unfortunately, it was, of course, all rotten. It was all rotten.
It was rotten.
So, much like Will, it was rotten. So, there is the space that the steps used to be in. We've got a little bit more cleanup to do, but we pretty much just have to make the first of 7 trillion trips to the Home Depot. Will, tell them how excited you are about going to the Home Depot.
I'm real excited.
So, that's that. That is step number 1 on the steps. So a lot of you might know that we used to have a smart car. And a smart car is not particularly conducive to renovating an old house.
No.
Why did we have to get a work truck, Will?
Because you can't put a piece of 2x4 in a smart car.
Or a cube, because you'll bust the windshield out
Oh.
from the inside. Who did that? So there is our 1996 Suburban that looks like a school bus, and we call her Big Frida. That's what we're going to be going back and forth at about, I don't know, 3 miles a gallon to the Home Depot in while we do this dollar house project.
Tony is trying to get us killed by recording while we're driving. This is a no phone zone. Sorry, Oprah.
It's not. I think it is everything but a no phone zone.
It is a no phone zone.
But we are.
Look how much space is behind me.
It's like a school bus. We could fit 45 people back there. Scoot in. It's such a bit. Oh, that's much better.
Here I am. Oh, look how skinny I am. I just got done having a
lipo long giraffe neck suction something. So we're on our way to the Home Depot. Actually, I keep saying the Home Depot by default, but we are actually on our way to Lowe's. We are in a place where there's a Lowe's and a Home Depot on either side of us. So we're gonna go to the Lowe's this time, and on our shopping list,
the Lowe's.
The only thing on our shopping list is 3 pieces of treated 2x10 or 2x12, depending on what the cost of them are. But we're going to redo these steps. We're going to use recycled wood for the cleats that we need to make.
From where we tore out the walls in our house,
Right.
We have a bunch of more than ample supply of wood.
That's right. The drag queen rule: recycle, reuse, and rhinestone.
Not rhinestoning
We're
these
probably
steps.
not going to rhinestone these steps. So we're on our way to Lowe's. We're going to get 3 2x12s, of which we need 2 6-foot side pieces, and then the steps are just not quite 3 feet wide, so we're going to try and cut the pieces for the steps out of that, and we'll see how we do, because sometimes when you go into these home improvement stores, you go in for one thing and it's like going to Sam's Club. You come out and $7,000 later you bought the whole place, and Will panic. So we're on our way to the Lowe's. Green light, go.
Boom.
Boom. All right, as is with most old houses, nothing is square, level, true. There is nothing about it that is equal. So one of the problems we had is that our steps...
Good thing we're not straight.
We're not... So, one of the troubles we had, the rule of thumb is steps should be 10 inches wide and 7 inches tall. So that's tread and rise, I think is the right word. So either way, what we tried to do is start out with a 7-inch drop and 10 inch, Either way, what we ended up with is not enough stairs. So we had to cheat a little, and the bottom 2 stairs are a little taller than they probably should be, but there's no way around it. Like old houses, I don't think they had any rules. Did they have any rules? I don't think they had any rules.
They built it as they went along.
They just built it
They
so that it
didn't
fit.
build that as they
Right.
when they built this house.
So we got the steps done. It took us 3 hours. It cost $55, I think.
65, but
But that include buying
we
a
still
part.
have stuff left over. So.
Right. So these are the steps. There they are. Oh, very exciting.
Much.
So you can see how tall the first one is.
It's a little taller.
It's a little taller. It's by an inch taller. But there you go. Steps. Now, the way that we did it, come back down.
It helped me.
Boom, boom. So part of the struggle with doing some of this is we always kind of overbuild stuff because we're not trained professionals. We're just kind of like looking on the internet and seeing how you do it. And this is called a cleat. That's the way this is done. So we have a true 2x4 because it's the old 2x4s that used to hold a wall up in our other house that we took down. And then 2x10s. And this is all treated wood because even though it's not actually going to get wet, it definitely is outside. So we did cleats.
Here, point out
Here.
the camera over here. So
Hold
this piece right here, we had to cut these angles out
To get that runner.
to get the runner. And then we had to drill into the concrete.
So we had to pre-drill in the concrete and then put concrete screws
in there.
through the wood into the concrete.
Right. And then we have these cleats into that
Stringer.
And then those on top, we just had to pre-drill, just so that the only reason why you have to pre-drill is so that you don't split your wood.
And you want to sink it below because it's a step and you don't want to step on it. Now this is all pressure treated wood.
Because it's going to be outside. And,
Again.
You know.
And it's not going to get wet. It's just that it's outside and it's with the elements. So the bottom line is we did treated wood and we sunk the screw heads down below because it is going to be where you step on it. Now, there's some rule of thumb that says you have to get pressure treated wood a year before you paint it because it's like soaked in copper water. I don't know what they do. Anyway, so there's our steps. We did it in about a year. We'll paint them and then that whole thing will be done. This wasn't part of the project that we wanted to do first, but
It was only $55.
and you have to have steps to get in and out of the basement in order to work on the basement. And the other steps, no good.
Boom.
Boom. We're done. That is project number 1 on the Dollar House. Those are the steps into the basement. I'm Will.
No.
I'm tired. This project brought to you by Mountain Dew and the Lowe's Home Improvement Store.
I'm Will.
I'm Tony. Bye.
Cheers.